Computer wants to work. All right, Tracy, are we good? All right, thanks. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is using the import wizard. I just want to walk you through the steps to use the import wizard. The steps will be the same regardless of what data you're trying to import. There's just, you'll choose the right spreadsheet and the steps remain the same. So we are going to access the import wizard, you log into TNCompass, you click on administration, you scroll down to the data management section, and then click on import wizard. So these are the screenshots of what you'll do. You will log into TNCompass, you click on administration, then you'll scroll down, you'll see the data management heading, and then click import wizard. When you click that, you will have a screen that comes up that's similar to this one. You probably won't have all of these different things to import, but you should have an evaluation data column. And today we're going to use the growth and achievement measures because that's what you're going to need to do. If you haven't already done that, that's what we're going to need to do first. You click continue. You'll open up a screen. You should only see your charter. If you have multiple schools in your charter, you can use the import wizard to upload all of their data at one time, or you can just choose it by schools. In order to upload, if I wanted to do all of Alcoa's, I would click the checkbox beside Alcoa, and it would click all of the other schools. Once you've decided which schools you want to use, you click Generate Template. It will download. My internet, when I download it, I have to click to open it. It'll open up a spreadsheet. It's a simple spreadsheet. You want to make sure that if you're doing growth and achievement measures, you're doing it for the 23-24 school year. You'll notice that the spreadsheet has two tabs at the bottom. There are two different sheets here. You've got the template, and then you've got all available measures. We're going to start. When I look at this, I can see that these teachers do not have growth measures in column G and H, or achievement measures in I in the columns that follow that. So we would want to start with the second sheet, which gives us all of the information for all of the achievement measures and growth measures. Easiest way to use this is to filter it. We're going to start with our growth measures. So we're going to look for the TNCompass ID for the growth measure and the name of the growth measure. These have to be exactly the way they are on the available measures tab. The easiest way to use this spreadsheet is to filter it. So I start by filtering the evaluation component. I'm going to filter it to growth score. The other option would be achievement measure. I'm going to filter it to growth measure because we're going to start there. And then when you're with the growth measure, if you click and filter the TNCompass ID from small to large, it will bring almost all of the school-wide composites up to you. And you can see that the first school-wide composite is overall composite pre-K-12. This measure is available is appropriate for virtually every educator in your school. If you only wanted to choose a literacy composite for the teacher, you can go down, and if you look down this list, TNCompass ID 300 is overall literacy. That would be appropriate for a teacher who just teaches ELA. Then what I suggest you do, if we're going to start with the overall composite, I would highlight the TNCompass ID 281 and the school-wide overall composite, highlight that row for those two columns, copy it, and then just paste it into your spreadsheet. If you were using this for every teacher, you could copy it and you could paste it in every row. You can also drag down the columns. It'll copy it if you drag them down. Be careful with the growth measure ID. You're going to want to right click and tell it to copy, not fill, because it'll fill that and those numbers will increase with each one. After you have all the growth measures in for your teachers, we want to start looking at the achievement measure category. For the achievement measure, we have to have 3 pieces of information. We have to have the category, the achievement measure TNCompass ID, and then the achievement measure type. So if we go back to our spreadsheet, again, filtering the evaluation component column to achievement measures. The category column, if you click the little down arrow there, you will see this is a list of all the different types of achievement measures that we have available. So you will have to figure out which one you want. Are you looking for an off the shelf? Are you looking for ACT, graduation rate, state assessments, or if you can use a TVIS score again as an achievement measure, but the number will change. So you have to search for that. For our example, I'm choosing state assessments. So these are all the options for state assessments. The one that I have highlighted is the classroom EOC Algebra 1 or 2 success rate. This would be appropriate for any teacher that teaches Algebra 1 or Algebra 2 at the high school. It could also be appropriate for any support people that support in that classroom if you have teachers that support there. And this is at the classroom level. So that means it's only this for the students that this teacher teaches. If you wanted to use a grade level one, if you look down, 782 is a grade level success rate for Algebra 1 or 2. This time you're going to highlight and copy all 3 of these columns. When you go back to the tab 1, you're going to paste those in the appropriate columns. Again, you can fill these down. Achievement measures are probably going to be a little more individualized than your growth measures may be. After you've done all of the growth and achievement measures, then we're going to keep looking. This is the end of the spreadsheet for your achievement measure criteria. Since this is a state assessment that we chose, we do have to enter the criteria. This is how you will know at the end of the year when you start to put these scores in, what this teacher scored, or they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for instance, if in Algebra 1 last year, I'm going to make this a simple one. If in Algebra 1 last year, we had 50% of our students who met or exceeded expectations, that would be midway of the level 3. So we would say level 3 would then, let's say 48 to 52. We'll make it a 4-point range there. So 48 to 52 would be what would go in your criteria for 3. And then like for 4 would be 53 through 58. 57. 53 through 57, and you would scale up and down from there, still using about a 4-point difference. When you get to the 5, it would be, if we were 57, you can scale that one out to 100. But you want to scale those. Usually a 4 to 5% increase is doable. Much more than a 5% is not in 1 year. That I don't usually say that. That's not to say you cannot set that criteria, but that's not usually what we see in assessment percentages going up. But if you've had a history of doing it and going up 10% each year, by all means, you can set that criteria that way. You set the criteria. When you finish all of that, save the file to your desktop. You don't need to change the name of it. You don't have to save it on your desktop. That's easiest for me. It's the easiest place to remember where I put it. Then you go back to your import wizard, the same way you did before, administration, data management, import wizard. You're going to choose the same spreadsheet again. We want the evaluation data. Click continue. If you will hear at this point, just click, I already have a template, and then click continue. You will choose the file that you saved, and it will upload. Click choose file, it'll open up so you can find it on your computer. Select that file, click to continue. You will then see, it will show you a sample of your spreadsheet. So if I had just uploaded this, I should see my district ID, my teachers' names. I should see my growth measure ID there. Mine's a blank sheet, so I don't. But if you scroll across, you can see everything. You can see if you have everything filled in for all the teachers. Then you click validate. Click validate. This is what you'll see next. What it's going to do is it's going to validate. It's going to look at your spreadsheet and it's going to give you a report of what's missing or incorrect. So you can download the full report. It'll download a spreadsheet and you can see what is missing. This is telling me the summary. It says ignore 14. That means there are 14 blanks overall. I'm missing 14 achievement measures for criteria 1, 14 for 2. There were 14 teachers on here. This tells me everything was blank. I've either uploaded the wrong spreadsheet or I saved the blank one. If you have these errors, you need to click cancel the import, go back to your spreadsheet, correct them, either put in the criteria, put in the missing stuff, save the corrections, go back to the import wizard and upload it again. Once you upload it again, when you're here, if you do not have any errors, you click the process button. After you process it, it'll tell you that it's processed. You're going to want to check to make sure then that all of your teachers have growth and achievement measure selections in TNCompass. Once that import processes, they will automatically show up on the teacher's individual record. It takes a little while before this growth and achievement selections report populates. And it should do it within a few minutes of uploading that, but it may not be instant for everything. It takes it a few minutes. So after you've given it a little while, go back, download the report from the report section in TNCompass, go to the growth and achievement measure selections and download that spreadsheet. You should see the information that you just uploaded in that spreadsheet. Resources. The team website has lots of resources. Our office hours are posted under the office hours tab. The office hours for all of our office hours that we have will always be posted there. There's a link to charter schools, the evaluation configurators, portfolio, and when we have alternative growth measure office hours, those will be posted there also. There is a growth and achievement import quick guide. That is a kind of a one-pager. All of the information I just shared with you is on that. That's a great resource for you to go to and pull up as you're trying to import these. We'll have meetings in April and May. We're going to talk about end of the year actions and missing entering achievement scores. I try to keep the topics the same. Usually for charter schools, we get a little deeper into these. And it's always, please email teamquestions@tn.gov with any questions. Do you all have any questions? That was pretty quick.
We currently don't have any questions in the chat.
And you all are welcome to come off of mute if you have questions, or if you have questions about this or anything else. It's a small group. We'll try to answer any questions you've got.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So Amelia, I had emailed you and then I hadn't worked on it since, but I had emailed you about an issue that I was having with one of our schools that had closed the previous school year. However, we still had it's sort of like we've got a phantom account out there. So we have Kip Memphis Academy Middle, and it still shows that people are rostered to that school. And I don't have a way of like deleting